In the United States alone, it's estimated that 85% of people hate their jobs, and only 13% of people feel engaged at work. But that didn't come as a shock to you, did it? As a matter of fact, it's widely known and talked about. It appears at least once a year on a news cycle, and it's even something we have TED Talks about. Yet, it's estimated that from July to September of 2018, only 2.5% of people voluntarily quit their jobs. Naturally, as humans, if we don't like to do something, we tend, for the most part, not to do it. So then why does this concept not apply to our employment choices? I've noticed culturally that we have a tendency to adapt to unpleasant circumstances. When the honeymoon phase is over and you start to see a job for its true colors, we tend to just put up with the unhealthy work environments, unrealistic expectations, and borderline inhumane guidelines that contradict everything that it means to be human. And the justifications for such things come with a neatly wrapped mindset of sayings such as you gotta do what you gotta do, or you have to put food on the table. And while these sayings are definitely true, they overlook the fact that these things are all possible while searching for a better and healthier job. This leads me to entrepreneurship and why it's my current focus. There's a big misconception out there that entrepreneurship is the greatest thing in the world. It's glamorized to be this get-rich-quick scheme, work your own hours, and live a life full of freedom, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I sacrificed a 40-hour work week for sometimes a 50 to 60-hour work week. I put in more work than I did at any other 9-to-5 job. I feel like it's harder to turn off work mode, and I feel more stressed than I did when a group of high school girls approached the counter when I worked at Starbucks because I knew it was about to go down in the Frappuccino line. And yet, I wouldn't change it for the world. I recently had a chance to sit down for an interview and talk about the very reason on why I continue to stick with this challenge. I think for me it really came down to two things. It was quality of life and fulfillment with my secular work. Unrealistic expectations and greed in the traditional work environment is the epidemic everyone talks about and does very little to change. This was something I noticed around the time I started my business junior year of high school. I really watched the quality of life my mother had working her job as a single mom, and she really pushed to do everything right. She finished college at a recognized university, and she got a job where she liked the work, but I vividly remember the amount of stress she had in her day-to-day life. And for 5 years, there really wasn't a single day where she would come home and talk about anything other than work. And when she did talk about work, it was rarely positive. And it really caused a lot of stress in our relationship too, because, well, she was always stressed. She eventually did find another job, but in the end, very little changed, and that's actually what inspired me to make this short documentary. Recently, she woke up with a cold and a migraine, and I was just thinking logically, and I'm like, you should stay home, you're sick, you need to recover. And she proceeded to say, I have to attend this meeting today, and I have X, Y, and Z to do. And so when you break that down to what's really happening to people, people are being conditioned that their meetings and their to-do list are more important than their mental health and their physical health. But if you died tomorrow, that same employer would have your job listed on Indeed the next day. Over time, people's lives simply become their job, and at some point, you have to ask yourself, what fulfillment does that bring? So granted, I may work harder than I would as an entrepreneur versus being traditionally employed, but at least I'm in control. If I get sick and have to cancel a meeting, I might be out of an opportunity, maybe, but not out of a job. If I want to spend time with my family, I can do so without asking permission. And most importantly, I can decide how much of my secular work consumes my life. And those are the things that are really important to me. Of course, there are hidden gems throughout the world and many great employers out there, but they are simply that, hidden gems that don't constitute the accessible norm for most people. The purpose of this documentary and my job as a creator isn't to tell you what to do with your life, but simply to inform. Because we can't change the world, the only thing that we can control is our course in life. And although by no means an easy way to live, entrepreneurship gives you far more opportunities to make sure of the more important things in life. Our God, our family, our friends, our health, or whatever the important things are to you. If you like this video, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and leave a comment. And if you would like to be a driving force behind the content of this channel, be sure to head to www.patreon.com/SidneyBG, where you can support my work, get early release content, and a behind the scenes look at my filmmaking process. If you are ever feeling uninspired, uncreative, or just want to give up on life, remember, every day airplanes take off against the wind. Live, love, laugh, stay inspired, and as always, stay fabulous. My name is Sidney, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.